Summer often brings about a sense of nostalgia for those things marine, those things aquatic, and the toys that depicted them. Join us as we at the Little Things dive under the waves and look at the toys of summertime, the toys of the aquatic world. In this video, we're going to take a pretty quick look at one of the best but least known undersea playsets ever offered, the Marx Undersea Adventure Playset. In 1979, just before the Marx Toy Company went out of business, they released one of the most interesting playsets they had ever produced, the Undersea Adventure Playset. This playset was, as the name suggests, a toy playset made to give the look and feel of an ocean setting. It was an innovative toy set to say the least. The playset featured a plastic boat which sat on top of a plastic frame, which held a cardboard background that featured an undersea themed picture as a backdrop. The bottom and the right side of the plastic frame was molded to look like undersea features, such as a mountain with caves and a shipwreck. The set came with a rubber octopus, a rubber shark, 3 diver action figures, a seabed exploration vehicle, a treasure chest, a crane, and a shark cage for the divers. The set also came with, as the box put it, creatures of the deep, which included a molded plastic crab and lobster. The playset was a great way for kids to have immersive underwater adventures in an ocean setting without having to get wet. The diver figures were a little smaller than the standard 3 3/4 inch action figures that were popular at the time, but the set could still generally be used to play with other action figure lines. It is likely that the Jaws craze, which was still happening in 1979, influenced the creation of the toy set, but there is nothing that directly connects this set to that fad. The art on the box kind of suggests this, and the second film from the Jaws film franchise was released the year before, in 1978. The playset provided a great backdrop for interactive play with a lot of different undersea themed toys that were being produced at that time. One of the highlights of the set was the toy marine creatures, especially the octopus toy. This was one of the largest octopus toys available at that time. It was created of a soft rubber and could be used to menace a wide variety of toys from so many different toy lines. And the playset also included a rubber shark toy. The rubber shark toy was molded out of hollow, soft rubber also. The shark really was just another version of the hollow rubber shark toy that was so incredibly prolific at that time. This type of shark toy was everywhere. It was basically a smaller version of the same shark toy that was produced for the Jaws film by Chemtoy, and later offered as a generic shark toy in stores across the United States for years. This is the basic shark toy that would be offered in those display boxes at dime stores and roadside tourist stops and tourist attractions across America. A great example of this is the man-eater shark from Imperial Toys. The Marx Undersea Adventure Playset also came with some pretty neat accessories, including a vehicle called a seabed exploration vehicle. The vehicle was actually pretty cheaply made. The tracks were not real and the toy rolled by plastic wheels that popped in and out of clamps at the bottom. It was the type of accessory that was available with many Marx playsets, including the Command Center or the Moon Base or the Martian Landing playsets. The decals were pretty good though. And the concept of a ship or boat that hooked onto the top of the playset, allowing the child to pretend that the ship was floating above the undersea setting, was really innovative. The boat could be removed to be played with separately. and since there were no electronics and it was not highly detailed, it could be played with in the water also. The ship was very basic, but did a good job of serving its purpose. It came with a crane that worked by a pulley system that could lower the shark cage down into the undersea setting below. While the toys and accessories that came with it were pretty good, it was really the overall setup or the concept behind the playset that made it so innovative and provided it with so many play options. And definitely the image on the cardboard backdrop helped spark the imagination of the children playing with the set. The cardboard backdrop depicted a great underwater scene, with various sea creatures swimming around and a coral or seaweed covered sea floor. It also depicted a diver with a harpoon gun and another type of seabed exploration vehicle. These cardboard playsets were relatively prolific at this time, most likely due to their inclusion in Kenner's Star Wars toy line. Many people also remember this set coming with a variety of molded plastic undersea creatures that were in the Marx tradition. But it appears these marine creatures actually came from a much earlier undersea adventure set by the MPC toy company from 1963. This set is much more difficult to find information on, but it appears to be generally similar to the Marx playset. This set didn't have the innovative setup that the Marx playset had, but it also included a cardboard background and a molded plastic ship. The sea creature toys that came with the MPC Undersea Adventure Playset were not painted, but were decently detailed for this kind of toy. The set also offered a wide variety of sea creatures. Each creature was marked with the name and an average size in feet. Some of the species available in the set would not be offered again for several decades, with much more modern playsets such as Sea Creature Tubes or Discovery Channel playsets. And the same sea creatures were offered as prizes in boxes of Nabisco cereals in 1968. It seems that this is another way that many people remember obtaining them. The Marx Undersea Adventure set was one of the last playsets offered by the toy giant and one of the most interesting. The innovative design with the toy ship hooked to the top or floating over an adventurous undersea theme is a great design that should be revisited with future toy playsets. It made for a lot of great marine adventure opportunities. But keep in mind, if you're purchasing this toy for the sand, you are out of luck. Well, I don't like the large blips coming in over the sonar, so let's head back to the surface into safer waters. I hope to continue our deep dive into these marine-themed toys in future episodes, so hop on board and let's spend a summer remembering the little things that helped us have a little fun out of the sun in summertime also. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay in touch with future content.